Here's Lynn Alden in this clip right here talking about how Bitcoin is actually like living through the Matrix. Check out the clip.
Bitcoin is the real sequel because basically we're living through the Matrix now, which is why I think this podcast is relevant, which is that when you have a problem that is literally all around you, you're born in it, you never imagined a world without it, which in our system is our money system. It couldn't be a better analogy. And so the fact that the best Bitcoin memes are Matrix memes is not a coincidence. It's literally a perfect one-to-one matchup.
And with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you with another cryptocurrency video. We're getting straight into it. We're not going to waste any time. Taking a look at the Bitcoin price chart. What do we see? What do we anticipate? So we've showed you this chart before. This is Bitcoin versus the US dollar on the weekly. And right now at the current time of this recording, Bitcoin's coming in around 34.6K. And we've came and bottomed out. We've been stair-stepping our way up. And you see that we're back above that 20 moving average. Now on the weekly, we can't see the 200 yet, but anyways, either way you cut the cloth, we see that we have this symmetrical triangle that we could be breaking out as a technical target that could take us up to about 60,000. Is that what's going to happen? We've showed you since every cycle peak, we came up and retested in the bear market the first bounce back. So this level here around the $46,000 to $48,000 threshold, that could be where we're going pre-halving. Could have a meltdown going into the halving or post-halving before we are up and off to the races. But you see here we did break this major level of support or resistance. It acted as support right here, acted as resistance right here, right here, right here. And we currently just broke through this on this past weekly candle. So let's see what this weekly candle does. We could have a comeback down to retest this $31,000 level before we have a bump and run continuation pattern. But we need to make sure that this candle closes above this and not a fake out and coming back into this below, so we trade more into this apex region. So we have to be patient, wait and see what time gives us. Plan B, speaking on it, what he's saying, it bounced back to the stock to flow one standard deviation band, which is that dark blue band, and you see that the price action was extremely oversold. He has a light blue band and a dark blue band, and then that stock to flow line. And right now it's back in that blue band, and the range of that band is $31,000 all the way up to $103,000. So anyway you cut the cloth after the halving, look what's happened. That band goes up to multi-hundred thousand, and the top of the peak goes all the way almost to 1 million. So how high will we go? Will stock to flow hold? Well, time will tell. Taking a look at the total to crypto market cap, this is the altcoin market cap. And could we be seeing an alt season soon? Well, if we zoom into the price action, that could be what's in the cards. We see that we came bottomed out and we just been putting in this base, but putting in higher highs and higher lows and getting ready to rip up to the upside. And once this 20 crosses above that 200 again, are we going to get that euphoric alt season that everybody's been waiting on? And looking at the Fibonacci sequences, what do we see? We see the Elliott wave impulse. We see wave 1 potentially here, wave 2 on this pandemic pullback, wave 3. This is an abnormal ABC correction. And then wave 5 could be what we're anticipating and waiting for. Remember, this is the alt season. This is everything excluding Bitcoin. So the fifth leg has to be as long as the first leg, but not as long as the third leg. So keep that in mind. So we have to go to a minimum target up to roughly that 1.616, that $1.7 trillion threshold. But then also it has to be within that range up until, let's pull this up and see, up until roughly the $18.2 trillion threshold. So really that's a huge window. We're looking at anywhere from 1.72 to up to almost $18 trillion for the altcoin market capitalization. So nobody really knows. We could fall in the middle here. We could fall at the 4.236 on the fib extension, 5.4. That's roughly a 10x from the overall alt market. Time will tell. Right now, stack your bags and be patient. And looking at El Crypto Prof speaking on alt season. The last time the Bitcoin dominance touched the EMA 50 in the last monthly chart, we see a strong alt season shortly afterwards, which historically only happened every few years. So every single time it comes back and touches this EMA 50 line, it gets rejected. Alt season. Every single time, alt season. Every single time, are we going to see an alt season? Because right now we are above it. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance, we can see that actually on the weekly, we are above the dominance as well. And if you look at the dominance, we put it a high, a higher high, and then another higher high. Could we come off and cool off and then put in a lower high where the dominance peaks out? And then we then have that alt rally? Either way you cut the cloth, it looks like the alt season could be around the corner. ETH versus Bitcoin, we've showed you this, and Ethereum has been melting down. Well, if you look back in the charts, you can sort of extend this 200 moving average and see what happened when it crossed. Did we go any further from when the 20 crossed the 200? And did we go any further down to the downside? Yes, we did. So right now, we haven't even had that cross yet. Will we see that cross? It looks like it could be coming, and we could be seeing more melting. So ETH is sort of that standard for the alt market that you have to pay attention to, because Ethereum is that king alt, if you may. And shout out to Benjamin Cohen on this chart here. This is the total 3 minus the USDT over Bitcoin chart. This can sort of show you when you want to be in alts and when you want to be in Bitcoin. So right now, in this rally down is when you want to be in Bitcoin. The rally's up, you want to be in alts. So you want to accumulate at these bottoms. Are we going to see a meltdown? Now look, we're back below that 200. The super guppy is showing red, but one interesting thing to pay attention to is that this fall down from this major red line sort of mirrors this here. So are we going to bottom out right here, or are we going to come back down further and see lower price action? If you look at the RSI and what the RSI did, it bottomed out and started putting in higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And we could see that the price action was starting to trend to the upside, but then ultimately put in a lower low before having that ultimate alt rally. This was after the 2020 halving. So looking present day, what the RSI has been doing, we've been putting in lows, lower lows. It looks like we put in a higher low right here. So could we still put in a higher low, but the price action still continue to the downside? Not necessarily, but the RSI could get overbought. So we could see a micro alt rally come up a little bit, get above the 200, but then get oversold down here and have a continuation down to this 0.25 level. Will we see that? Time will definitely tell. Stock Money Lizard is weighing in on the Bitcoin 2025 peak. And right now, we are in part of the cycle where we'll see a new all-time high over the next 12 to 18 months and then have that peak. Look where this peak goes to, though. If you come up and test this like we did back here, and if we zoom into this chart here and then scroll over, we see that takes Bitcoin right around that $225,000 threshold if it hits this upwards resistance level. So anyway you cut the cloth, Bitcoin is looking very bullish. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.